Let us now understand the dynamic characteristic of the BJT. By dynamic characteristic, we mean how does the BJT behave as a switch in time evolution. So the x-axis will be the time axis. So let us have the test circuit. The test circuit will be something like this. So we have VCC, we have a load, and we have the BJT. Emitter is grounded. Then on the base side we have the base resistor. Then we have a source, the base voltage source, which is supposed to give the signal, the pulse signal, which will switch on this BJT or switch off the BJT. So let us name the parts. We will call this as VB. This is IB. And if there is a base current, there will be a collector current. And across the collector and emitter, let us measure, and we call that as VCE. And we apply the VCC voltage here, DC voltage, and this can be a resistor, but we will call it as a load component because it can be a resistor or it can also be an inductor or a combination inductor diode. So it can also be not only a resistor but other components. We'll just call it as a load component. So now with this kind of a test circuit, let us draw the dynamic characteristics. So we will have the x-axis as the time axis, call this time axis. And we have three x-axis, meaning that we will take three parameters. First parameter will be VCE, we will write that down there. This will be the collector to emitter voltage. We also need to monitor IC. This is the collector current. And the third one is IB. Now, these three parameters, if you see VC and IC is the collector side current and the voltage. So these are the power variables. IC and VC are the power variables. IB is the control variable. It's the control input. Depending upon the value of the IB, we know whether the switch is on or off. And IB, of course, is coming out from this voltage source VB. So let us now partition this time axis into the following. So let me have this line here, partition line, and I will say that in this period, starting from 0 onwards, let's say that is the off state. We will start with an off state. The BJT here is in the off state. Then after that, we go into another state where from the off we want to go on. So this will be a transition state here. We'll call this a turn on period. Then after the turn on period, we have the on state. So let the on state be for some time here. And then here we go through a transition period again. This will be a turn off. From the on state we want to go off, so this will be a turn off period. And then after the turn off period, we go back into the off state. So this will be one complete cycle where you start with the off state and then end up with the off state. And in between you have these turn on state, and turn off state. So let us understand how the BJT behaves in all these time periods. So we go at it slowly, try to understand. Now let us take the IB, the base current. The base current is the driving force that is having the information signal whether the BJT is on or off. So this is the control input. Start from there. So now let us say that we are giving a pulse here. So whenever the voltage here is high, there will be a current flow. So during this off state, what should be IB? How should IB look like? There should not be any IB. IB should be 0. So that is something that we know. So IB is 0 here also in the off state. And during the off state, what is VCE? The BJT is off, which means that it is in the high impedance or the high resistance mode, and all the supply voltage will drop across the collector to emitter of the BJT. As no IC current is flowing, the voltage across this load component is 0 and everything is appearing across collector emitter voltage. So that is what we have indicated here, and we call that one VCC. And what is happening to IC? It is so in the off state here, and during that same off state, IC is typically 0 if the BJT is ideal, but BJTs are not ideal, and we saw when we were studying the static characteristic that when the base current is 0 or when the base is open, there will be a small thermally generated leakage current ICEO. So that is what we will have, a very small current ICEO. So this is the waveforms that you will see, all three waveforms during the off state. Now we go into the turn on and then the on state. But let us look at the on state. What is it that we would like to have? So when it is in the on state, we have an IB which is being injected into the BJT. And what should be the value of IB? We want the transistor to be in saturation, and therefore we need to give an IB which is greater than IC by beta. Then only we know the transistor go into saturation and it is in the on state. So IB should be given where it is greater than IC by beta. So when you give such an IB, what is VC? VC will go into on state, low voltage. There will be very low voltage, and that voltage is called the saturation voltage, VCE sat. So we call that one as VCE sat or VCE saturation. So that is the voltage across that one. And what is the collector current? The collector current will be this voltage. If you look at this Kirchhoff's voltage loop, VCC minus VCE sat divided by whatever the load component impedance. Now let us say for now the load component is a resistance, R load. So if it is R load, we can write it down as IC is equal to VCC minus VCE sat divided by R load. So this will be the current that will be flowing in the collector. Now let us look at these two parts, which is the turn on and the turn off parts. So let us take this turn on period, and during this turn on period we will see that the BJT transits from the off state to the on state. So both these waveforms, that is VC and IC waveforms, will transit to its on state values, and IB will be the control input which will facilitate this, and you have to give the IB current in a specific manner. So let us split this turn on period into two parts. There are two parts. One is a very small part, the other one is a slightly larger part. The smaller part of the turn on period is called TD, and this is called the delay time. And the following part is TR, called the rise time. So TD, the delay time, during this time there is a delay. The turn on action does not start because charges have to be set up in the base region. So let us apply the base current. You need to apply base current. The area under this curve is the charges, and this amount of charges has to be put into the base for the transition to start. So at the end of the delay time, you will have actually started the transition time, and the voltage will start transiting. So now the base current will take this form and then finally reach the steady on state value where IB is greater than IC by beta. So the area under this portion of the IB curve is the charge that has to be given to the base in order that the BJT reaches the full on condition. So when you supply this amount of charge, the BJT would have reached the full on condition. The voltage across the BJT VCE would reach VCE SAT, which is almost close to 0 volt. So it will take this profile. Of course, I have indicated here a straight line profile, but need not be straight line. It will be slightly non-linear, slightly curved. But straight line approximation is a good approximation without loss of generality. You will understand it much better. Now, when it comes to the current from ICEO, it should reach IC, which is VCC minus VCE SAT by R load. But this period, this is TR, the rise time. During this period, the waveform is not decided by the internals or the mechanisms of the device, but more by the external components. So we will write this down. The waveform, current waveform during the turn on transition is determined by the external circuit. So if I am having a capacitance across the BJT, where a capacitance connected to the collector, then when you turn on, there can be a huge discharge from the external capacitor through the diode, and the collector current can be really high, it can shoot up. But for the moment, let us assume that the external load component is just plain resistance or load. So if it is a resistance, then you will see a linear rise as shown dotted here. Later on, when we are discussing various other circuits, you will see that the current here need not be a linear, depends upon the external circuits. And we also have solutions where we can make the current during this period within our control by using snubber circuits. We will discuss that much later in the 11th week. So this, let me name that this profile is due to a resistive load. And now let us come to the turn off period. In the turn off period also, I am going to divide that into two parts. Let me move this up into two parts, where the smaller part is called TS. TS is the storage time, and this is followed by TF, which is the fall time. Just as a memory guideline, TR and TF, the rise time and the fall time, always they are associated with the current waveform. So when the current waveform is rising, then the time corresponding to that is the rise time TR. When the current waveform is falling, then the time associated with that is the fall time TF. So that is a memory tip. So during the storage time, there is stored charges in the base, and then they have to be removed. Only then the onset of transition will begin. So how should be the base current? So during this period, the base current should go negative. For you to remove the stored base charges, there should be a path of the base current which is going out of the base region during this period. Only then you can remove the stored charge. So therefore, when you are designing the base drive circuit, you should allow for this negative base current to flow in order to remove the stored base charges. So after this storage period, you will see that there is the onset of the transition towards off state. So what happens to the current and the voltage during this period? It continues in the same fashion, nothing much has changed. And then at the end of the storage time, you will see the onset of the transition, and for that you need to give a base current in this fashion, and the area under this curve is the charge that has to be removed from the base. So all this is happening with negative base current flowing. So when you have removed the base stored charge, you will see that the current falls. So this is the fall time. And at the same time, the voltage will reach the off state value of VCC. But during this transition, this waveform for the voltage is dependent on the external circuit. So if there is an inductive load, then sudden break in the current means di by dt is very high. So L di by dt, there can be a large inductive voltage kick, and then this would reflect here the VCE, and it can be pretty high. Again, this we will see when we are discussing converters, how this is coming and how this can also be taken care of by snubbers, appropriate snubber circuits. But for now, if you consider this as a resistive load, the voltage waveform will transit in this fashion. So this profile is only for a resistive load. So this is how the dynamic characteristic of a BJT will look like for turning on and turning off. Moving from off state to on state, you have the turn on transition, and moving from the on state to the off state, the turn off transition. And the turn on is composed of two parts, the delay time and the rise time. The turn off is again composed of two parts, the storage time and the fall time. So this is your dynamic characteristic for the BJT.